Welcome back, party people, to another episode of Time Out. Got to give us a round of applause. We are doing this thing. Today's video, before we do that, guys, make sure you hit us with the subscribe, like, and notification bell. Get the YouTube stuff out of the way. Without further delay, the video entitled today is The Baby Mama Side Chick Phenomena. Is that a black thing? Let's find out.
Dear African millennials, is the baby mama side chick phenomenon a black thing? Beverly from Brooklyn.
Good question.
Beverly from Brooklyn.
That name don't sound. It don't sound like it go together. Beverly and Brooklyn. Beverly's match. You from Williamsburg, aren't you?
It's like it's no shade to Beverly, but like I hate this question because I feel like it comes from a place of just like constant society sort of like tying black people with all these like false negative things. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not saying that.
Good. That's a good
First
point.
of all, let me be clear. I
Very
think
good
that
point.
Side chick, the terms side chick and baby mama do stem from the black community. Yeah. They are different, definitely different things, but I do think they stem from the black community because I often think that black people turn trauma or inconveniences or issues in general into some sort of comedy. Like, you know, that's just how we deal with our pain. Right. So there's truth to that. But I would say that the baby mama side chick thing goes across all the races. There's no, you can't just say that it's a black person thing. That's
right. You know why it seems big.
The problem is, and before he gets started on it, I believe it. The reason why they say it's a black thing because black people glorify it, especially black women. Not so much the side chick part of it, but the baby mama part of it. Yeah, they're very proud of being single mothers, baby mamas. This is why it's considered a black thing. Just like a lot of people consider Jewish people to hoard large amounts of money, right? Or be very good with money, right? Just like they assume just because of like Bruce Lee and these Japanese movies, things like that, they assume that most Chinese people know martial arts, right? And they've, to a degree, embraced it. And black women have more than embraced the single mom phenomenon. And it's gotten to the point where it's now an epidemic, not phenomenon.
Black communities, like you said, we talk about it the loudest. We express all our problems. Other races and cultures keep whatever they're going through. They keep inside.
Yeah.
So when we make
it's a shame thing. It's a shame thing.
What do you mean?
For people that are outside of the black community, they'd rather hide it out of shame. Like
I agree with that.
Throughout history, it's not like people didn't have kids out of wedlock.
Right.
Right.
And most other cultures, when women have children out of wedlock, they're shamed for it. It's not okay. But in the black community, oh, girl, like I know black women who said they can't wait to have a baby by themselves and not have a man to deal with. To deal with? That's what men are? To deal with?
Not even, sometimes they wouldn't hide it. Sometimes
crazy.
That person would become the if it was a child born out of wedlock, it would become like somebody else's daughter or somebody else's sister. They would just reintegrate into the family later. Oh, this is your cousin from somewhere else. Because that kid, even though that's your dad's kid, they grew up somewhere else, they were raised somewhere else, but now that they're of age, now they're coming back to reintegrate into your family as your cousin. So you would live the rest of your life not knowing that that's your actual blood sister because of the shame that it would bring to your family if they knew that your father, who could be of any social standing, had a kid outside of wedlock and could have brought shame to your family.
Good point.
Some cultures, a baby can automatically, as soon as somebody becomes pregnant, the people will jump into marriage. I think it just so happens that most times it doesn't happen like that in the black community, even though baby moms.
It never happens like
not,
that.
So,
never.
Subjective to just.
And when I say never, I mean
people,
90+% of the
people
time.
have those, and I think, like you said, it's us being loud about it.
Yeah. But also, just in general, I think that marriage has been an institution that's discluded black people for a long time. Like, marriage was built in a sense where it's like in earlier years when we're talking,
you had to get married.
I mean, yes, but you had to take on the liberty of getting married yourself. Like you were jumping over the broom, you were having a representation. I'm talking about slavery. I'm talking about slavery. I'm saying that it's an institution where it's like we weren't allowed to get married in order to have those rights. It was an institution that applied to white people. They were allowed to get married and all that. So black people just took it upon themselves to jump over the broom as a representation. Black Americans, yes.
Because I'm about to say, Africa's been.
Yes, specific.
Africans taught everybody how to get married.
But baby mama and side chick is a very American ideology. So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
I agree.
That
the concept,
Western.
It's very Western. Yeah.
It's very Western.
The practice
even I feel like the word itself was derived, like I think from a Jamaican. Baby mama, the actual term. Like I feel like the thing about it being a black thing, like obviously every race has baby mamas, every race has side chicks. But I feel like the reason why it's so connected to the black culture is because black people have like black people talk about it in society. Like how many raps, how many songs have been talked about baby mama? Like we perpetuated.
It's been glorified.
We perpetuated the most
to a degree.
Like, even going back to slavery, like slave breeding was a thing. Like slave masters, in order to save money, encourage people that may not even be in relationships to have sex so they can reproduce.
But like baby mama is like that's like a newer term. Like baby mama is like a late 80s, 90s.
Right, but even if it's a newer term, it has been happening. It's just a new name to it. It's just a new title to what.
It is not a new name to it, and she's incorrect there. Yeah, you had some babies mama, like slaves were forced to breed, but we're talking about people who willingly got together and willingly had sex and willingly had a baby that were not married, that were not in that sort of institution or committed relationship. This is why they talk about baby mama. So she's wrong in that case. She's definitely wrong, and she's trying to tie it back to slavery to try to make herself look a lot smarter, but it doesn't fit, doesn't tie in.
Already been happening for a long time.
It's not a black thing. The actual idea of baby.
It's rooted. It's more rooted.
Forced breeding and baby.
It's not rooted there.
No, it's not.
It has a negative connotation when you say baby mom. It's meant to be like, like even nowadays it's like, all right, you got your girl who you got. If you have a wife with a kid, that's one thing. You have even people now you address it as the mother of my child. You have the mother of my child and my baby mom. Baby mom is like we don't get along. Like that's literally just my baby's mother.
But a baby mama is a child. A baby mama is a woman. No, baby mama is a woman that was good enough for you to have kids with, but not good enough for you to wife. Right or wrong?
No, it didn't work out.
Things don't work out.
In terms of terminology, he says mother of my child and baby mama.
See, that it's different, yeah, and it could be a circumstances where he got with the woman was exactly who he wanted her to be, or vice versa. It could be the woman was with the guy and he was exactly who she wanted him to be. But they ended up having a child together, which is backwards. They should have got married first, but a large times nowadays, millennials, Gen Z, and keep on moving, they're just having children out of wedlock. And then they're deciding whether or not to be together after they've had children. But the problem and the thing that would solve the whole thing is just use protection. Protect yourself if you're going to do it.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
Well, when I hear baby mama, it sounds bad, but I think of a unwed woman of color that has 1, 2, 3, 4 kids from maybe multiple partners.
People that have like
his name is Tunde.
The utmost respect, they'll address it. They won't call their baby. They won't be like, "Oh, that's my being, that's my baby mom." That's a negative thing. Like in society, that's how we address it. Like, "Oh, that's just my baby mom." We usually beef, and that's my baby daddy, etc. Women use baby daddy as
who uses baby moms?
I think
everybody does.
On that point,
everybody.
I think it's a disenfranchised thing. I don't really think it's a thing about color. I think people that are less fortunate, poor, are the people that lower income, are the people that
have baby mamas and go through all of that.
I
don't know if I agree with that. Look at this lady with all of her kids. Like, you think she's doing well for herself?
Okay, there are men with lots of money with baby moms. I don't think
a lot of actors got baby moms.
Exactly. All these celebrities, rappers, basketball players.
I don't
Look at
think
Fetty Wap. All these people that have baby moms.
He has like 10 baby moms.
Could it be that the word baby mom just came from a lazy term, or was just a slang, and then it just been turned, but it been turned into something though. Like, you have to understand, language and slangs have always been turned into the worst or the best.
Right. And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but at the end of the what song was it? Like Fantasia, Baby Mama, or there was a song by Outkast that's like this goes out to baby mama. Sometimes people use it as a Miss Jackson. People use it as a now people have turned baby mama into like a badge of honor because it's been so like looked down upon. That's true.
So I don't think men look at it as a badge of honor because most men don't want that. I don't think any man grew up going, man, I can't wait to get me a baby mama. Nobody thinks that way. No man thinks that way. But a lot of women think, oh, I can't wait to have a child, but I don't necessarily want to get married. Like, I've done a couple videos about women who are very apprehensive about being married, about having a man because, oh, so many things have gone wrong in relationships that I've seen. It's not about what you've seen. You can't live vicariously through someone else's life and have that dictate your actions and your decisions. That's just wrong. So, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's bad or good. Like, at the end of the day, there are baby moms out there.
It is bad.
I'm saying, where did it stem from?
Well, it's not so much that stemming from. It's like, well, is it only black?
I didn't say it was only black.
I'm saying
I didn't say it was only black.
The question is it only black?
Here you go. In the black community, it's just common because let's see, most people, most black women that have children with black men only end up being the baby mom because maybe their spouses or their black what do you call it, boyfriends end up either being shot or end up in jail, so which leaves them to be baby mom. It's not like by their choice. Sometimes it's not just by their choice. No, it's not by their choice. It's not like, okay.
Well, I don't fully agree with that either, because if the man wound up in jail, what if they got married before he was incarcerated for whatever reason he was incarcerated? They would still be married, so she would not be his baby's mama. She would be his wife.
Sometimes it just happens. It just happens. But it's just common in the black community that most men end up in jail and leaving the mother of their kids
to be.
But let me be clear.
Or sometimes they just decide to leave on their own. But like, I feel like that's with any man. If he just doesn't want to take responsibility, he's not going to take responsibility.
But regardless of the kid,
regardless of color. Some of them.
Right. There are some guys that don't take responsibility for the children, but we also know that there are some mothers that are horrible mothers. There are a lot. It's not even some. There are a lot of moms that are horrible mothers. Mothers that would try to keep the father away from their children are horrible mothers. Horrible. Because your child needs a father.
The kids, even though they don't want to be with the woman, though. Let me put this out there, like statistically speaking, not only are like black children being born the most to unmarried families, more than any other race, but they're being brought up in more fatherless homes than any other race.
That's not true.
Over 57% of black children growing up in America have their fathers absent, and that's like the most recent data from the U.S. Bureau of Statistics from 2012.
Statistically speaking, yes, unmarried is I don't discount that, but unmarried does not mean that these fathers are not necessarily in their lives.
Number though.
I didn't
say it was the same percentage, but it's higher than in black communities than any other
unmarried.
race.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's be clear, like because unmarried. Sometimes I think that specific statistic is used to imply that because you're saying you're not married, that so these kids are not having their father's not
there. I did not say that. I did not say that. I did not say that.
All right, guys. Now we're getting into semantics of it, which is why I have to go ahead and call it here. Plus, this video is starting to run a little long. We're at 14 minutes. So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. If you like that content, let us know in the comment section below. I don't agree with not the one with the real short hair, but the one that had the choker on. I don't agree with a lot of the stance and position that she was taking in this video. So remember to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell now. We'll get at you in the next one, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us at Time Out. I'm your boy T.O., your host, and we'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.